Hi and welcome to this week ahead analysis video with me, 𝖢𝖥𝖣yi𝗌𝗌𝗌𝗌𝗌𝗌yiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyiyi week, as well as some charts of interest. So we've got lots of data this week. We've got some Euro Flash Manufacturing PMI and Flash Services PMI. We've got the same actually out of France and Germany, as well as the UK and the US. We also have some central bank data. We've got the RBNZ, which is forecast to hike interest rates from 5.25% to 5.5%. We've also got some CPI data out of the UK with 2 speeches from the Bank of England Governor Bailey, which investors will be keeping a close eye on. But really this week, all focus is going to be on the US, I feel, because what we had, you can see I've just made some notes over here. What we had on Friday was the negotiations on the US debt ceiling sort of stalled on Friday. Republican negotiators walked out of a meeting with the White House saying that the demands were unrealistic, and we had quite a sharp move on the US dollar, which was quite interesting. So negotiations are going to continue going into this week, and if they don't seem to be coming to some kind of agreement, then that's going to really put some doubt in investors' minds on whether the debt ceiling is going to be raised for the, and if it's not, then we could see a default for the first time in history. So it's going to be super interesting there. FOMC meeting minutes as well. Will be interesting to see how the Fed are going to line up for potentially the next meeting. What did they discuss in that meeting? And did they discuss future pauses? Now, we got a little bit of a hint on Friday from Federal Reserve Chairman Powell, who was concerned of raising rates more because of the US banking sector worries, essentially saying that the US banking sector is a little bit susceptible to this rising of interest rates. And although they did come out and say that the recent sort of banking collapses were not related or were down to poor management rather than the interest rate rises, it doesn't seem to be like that was the truth now, and we're starting to see Powell becoming concerned that they're putting pressure on the banking system. So that's going to be interesting. Essentially, are we going to see a little bit of risk off sentiment coming into the market this week? And are we going to see a little bit of push towards safe havens? Now, if we look at the strength meter, the yen is the weakest currency at -7 at the moment, so it is primed to be in a bit of a reversal zone. Pound is the strongest currency, being at the +5s. However, what I'm looking for is potentially this yen to start pushing back going into this week. US dollar index currently trading above the 103 handle. We had a really nice move last week. We broke above the 102s, retested it on the other side, rallied, broke through to the 103s, and we're retesting that on the other side now. However, this is all going to come down to what happens with the US debt negotiations and possibly what happens on the FOMC meeting minutes. But I think if no sort of progress happens, then the dollar could start to devalue and potentially break back below the 103s. However, if we do see the progress and we do see some kind of conclusion, then the dollar could continue to strengthen. We've got this long-term trend line as well as the next sort of highs that could be targets around the 105 level. Going on to pound then, so we've got Governor Bailey speaking this week. We've got CPI data. Price is currently trading outside of a bullish channel, and if the dollar starts to strengthen, then the market may trade down towards the 1.2350. If the opposite happens, we could break back within the bullish channel and the price may move back towards the 1.2650 level. Pound yen. So I think pound yen is going to be one to watch. We've obviously got pound as the strongest currency, yen as the weakest, which does suggest that, price could trade up to the next level of resistance, which is this 176. However, they are in reversal zones. Price did close back below the 171.50 handle and these previous highs, which suggests that there could be a little bit of weakness in the market there. If we do start to see a little bit of a double top pattern, then price may want to come back down towards the 169. However, let's say investors don't rush to the yen as a safe haven this week, despite the sort of risks in the market of the US debt ceiling crisis, then price could head towards that 176. But I think this is going to be one to watch going into this week. Finally, then gold. So gold could be an interesting watch. The dollar obviously strengthened and gold pushed into the 1950 handle. And this is a zone of key support that we pointed out in our webinars last week. And I think if we did start to see maybe another drive back into the 1950 and that being held as support, we've also got this trend line support as well. So price then, depending on the current situation as well, like if the investors see that there's a lot of need to push into a safe haven asset, and gold could benefit from that, and we could see a move back towards the 2075. If everything gets cleared up, then price could break the 1950. We could come a little bit lower, maybe down towards the 1850 level or even 1800. However, I do like this 1950 as support. So hopefully that all made sense. If it did, leave this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel to see some more Forex trading content. And I'll speak to you in the next video.